Welcome to Findings with Phil, where each week we take a few minutes to uncover timeless principles that can help us become better leaders, better business owners, and hopefully better people. One of the questions I ask myself from time to time is, when was the last time I changed my mind about something important? Not because someone pressured me, not because I had to, but because I learned something I didn't know before. The older I get, the more I realize that one of the greatest competitive advantages in business and in life isn't intelligence, it's being teachable. Here's what I've noticed. The most successful people I've met have all one thing in common. They never act like they've arrived. They ask questions, they stay curious, they invite feedback, and they're willing to admit, I might not be seeing the whole picture. The opposite is just as true. The moment we think we've got nothing left to learn is often the moment we stop growing. The business world changes incredibly fast. 5 years ago, most of us weren't talking about AI. Today, it's changing entire industries. The companies adapting the fastest aren't necessarily the biggest. They're the ones willing to learn. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said something that has kind of stuck with me. Don't be a know-it-all, be a learn-it-all. That mindset helped transform Microsoft from a company many thought had peaked into one of the most valuable companies in the world. Research from McKinsey has also found that organizations with strong learning cultures are significantly more likely to innovate and adapt during periods of disruption. In other words, learning isn't just personal development, it's business strategy. The same principles apply outside the office. The healthiest marriages keep learning each other. The best parents keep learning their kids. The strongest friendships stay curious instead of assuming. Relationships struggle when curiosity disappears, because when we assume we already know what someone thinks, what they feel, what they need, we stop listening. Being teachable isn't only about learning new information. Sometimes it's about continuing to learn the people closest to us. Maybe one of the best questions we can ask ourselves is simply, where's my next opportunity to learn? It might come from a mentor. It might come from someone younger than you. It might come from an employee, a customer, or even someone you disagree with. That isn't weakness, that's wisdom. Because growth usually begins the moment we're willing to admit there's something we don't know yet. So maybe I'll just leave this here. What's something you've learned in the last year that changed the way you lead, the way you do business, or even the way you see life? It doesn't have to be profound, just something that made you better. I have a feeling there's a lot of wisdom there, and I think that is worth finding.